Hello gal pals and the 1% of gentlemen who watch this channel. We are currently experiencing a sweltering Savannah heat at a whopping 98 degrees outside. And we're not talking like the Nick Lachey boy bands. We're talking hot fire lava. And we've got 15 whole ass chickens out there in that sweltering Savannah heat, so let's go ahead and give them some ice in their water at the least. And play my favorite game as of late, which is sitting in the grass while we let them be free range so that they don't get attacked by a hawk. Squirrels! Be free, squirrels! Their water looks pretty dirty, but it's just the electrolyte mix that I put in there, so just FYI, let you know. They have clean water, it's just supplemented with electrolytes. The squirrels are smart, they're staying in the shade. I'm gonna sit my white ass in the sun, to every dermatologist's dismay. And we'll do a little chit chat. Why not? First of all, apologies for being so sparse with the uploads. I have been in a bit of a rut. There's some chicken drama going on behind me. Girls. But anyways, girl, I do not know if I am going through like a full-blown existential crisis or what, but I just feel stuck. Like just stuck in one place, aimless. I'm asking questions like, who even am I? What do I like? What do I want to be when I grow up? All of the things. Like, I'm 5 seconds away from belting out that Mulan song, the one where she just gets back from the matchmaker, like not good at being match made. Like right before she finds her destiny of like fighting a Hun army, and she's just like, what will my reflection show who I am inside? Like 5 seconds away from that Christina Aguilera anthem. Why? I don't know. I just have been struggling, and it's not like I haven't picked up the camera to film stuff, because I have. It's just been like not usable to me. I've just been kind of aimless because the feeling of being stuck has been like the primary feel, and it's not a great feel to be feeling. But probably the biggest update I have for you is for the past 2 weeks now, I have been eating primarily plant-based, no meat, no dairy. I've been eating eggs. Like, girl, I have 15 chickens. I'm not gonna like stop eating eggs. They're not producing yet, but they are getting ready to in a couple of weeks. So I'm gonna have more eggs than I know what to do with. And so now is not the time to like get off the eggs. And I will say, just kind of like off topic for just like a second, taking care of 15 chickens is way easier than taking care of 3 guinea pigs. Who would have thought? Like, once we got over the hurdle of them being like delicate little baby chicks, these things are just thriving. They're super easy. They got little personalities. It's cool. But yeah, okay, back to the whole vegan plus eggs thing that I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. Reason why is because I've known for a long time like that cow's milk is not my jam. I mean, it is. Like, your girl loves dairy. I love the creamy decadence of cheeses, of milk. But I just look at a glass of whole milk and I instantly like shit my pants. Like, it has never agreed with my body. I've known this for a long time. It was even reconfirmed when last year I took a food sensitivity test. The only food that I showed high sensitivity to was cow's milk. And I've since tried to limit dairy, but I have not gone fully off the sauce until now. Apologies for the abrupt transition, but I was just reviewing the footage of me trying to like relay the information of why I decided to make this dietary change to you. The train of thought was not on the track, okay? I was getting distracted by chickens and planes flying overhead. Besides, the sky in the smallest plane is just circling. Completely incoherent. So instead of trying to piece together that nightmare, I'm just gonna sum it up for you now. So I'm not eating dairy because I'm pretty sure that it wreaks havoc on my body and causes a lot of inflammation. Which, if you know anything about inflammation, it doesn't really help like any of the body's processes. it kind of hinders them. But primarily I'm concerned about what my hormones are doing. I mentioned it in a previous video, but currently I'm all natural, meaning that for the first time in my adult life, I'm not on any medications, but specifically I'm not on medications that have an influence over my hormones. So I'm just kind of free willy out here living my life. And I'm curious to know that if I, you know, do something helpful to myself, like eliminating foods that I know I have sensitivities to, if, you know, that might in return ease inflammation and help my hormones do the things that they're supposed to do or not do the things that they're not supposed to do. Not an endocrinologist, just someone that's experimenting on themselves and trying to figure it out. But when it comes to the meat thing and choosing to not eat it for these past 2 weeks, that's more so just like a personal experiment. Because listen, the first thing that I'm seeking out on a plate to eat has never been meat. I have always been like, take it or leave it. Like, I'm not truly interested in it. I have always been a bread, potato, and cheese girly since the time that I emerged from my mother's womb. But every single time that I get like on a health kick and I'm trying to like clean up my diet and I'm trying to do what I have heard from various sources on nutrition when it comes to like getting enough protein in, which I've heard the recommended amount is like 1 gram per ideal pound of body weight. So for me, it'd be like 150 grams of protein, which is a super hard macro goal for me to hit. But I'd like to challenge myself to get out of the current mindset that the only way to hit that macro goal is by consuming just like a bunch of animal protein. I'm still likely going to eat meat. I don't really have a problem with it. I just would like to find alternative protein sources. So I don't know, I'm just not in the headspace where I'm like, I have to have this every single meal in order to hit this macro goal. So that's my whole thing with that. Now, that being said, I have not tracked a single thing. These first few weeks have just been me trying to get over the hump of cutting out 2 very big parts of my diet with no research, no preparation. Not the smartest way to approach this, I know, but I am just kind of the person where sometimes I just have to go balls to the walls in something, just blind, in order to start doing it. Research to me kind of has the tendency to get a little bit sticky, so that really delays me starting, if at all, certain things. So yeah, just sometimes I gotta jump into it and then focus on doing it right later. The first 3 days in particular were rocky, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were doing a lot of the heavy lifting because not only did I not research a damn thing, but I also was not in the mood to cook. Yeah, the first few days were really grindy and I was like, I can't do this. It wasn't until like on the 4th day we went to the only vegan restaurant that we have in town, which it is a huge surprise that we have one at all because I live in a little like podunk town where we are not catering to your dietary restrictions. You know, I wish we did. I wish we had tons of culinary experiences, but if it's not an Applebee's or a Chili's, we don't want it. But as if some kind of like kismet miracle of the universe. Like a few months ago, a vegan restaurant opened and Steven and I partook. And that is where I discovered a new hope. Now, okay, listen, this meal was entirely just vegan junk food. It wasn't like super healthy or anything, so just keep that in mind. I was dipping my cauliflower buffalo hot wings in some vegan dill aioli. Game changer. I was shooketh to my core that this sauce could be so creamy and decadent, everything that I love about dairy, but not have any dairy in it. This is news to me, and it inspired me to like start cooking. So I have found quite a few dairy alternatives that lead me to believe that like I can just like get rid of the entire category of dairy and be fine. It'd be okay. Words that I never thought that I would say. I made a nacho cheese sauce using cashews and nutritional yeast. Totally passable. Of the plant-based milks, I prefer oat milk or coconut milk. Not too big of a fan of like almond. And for a cream cheese alternative, I found this brand called Miyoko's Kitchen, I believe is the name. Totally passable cream cheese. It's not exactly like it, but it's enough to where like I could go without the real thing. So honestly love that for me, because for real, like the real thing that I know bothers me is dairy. And If I could go without it entirely, great. Like, I've been kind of limiting it, but I haven't had the heart to like get rid of it entirely. And when it comes to meat alternatives, I have tried like Beyond Burger. They have Beyond Nuggets, Impossible Nuggets, Impossible Sausages. I've tried a bunch of those these past few weeks. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's very passable. I just don't know, like, health-wise, what's healthier. I just have a lot of questions, and I'm not sure like how to like talk about this in a way that like doesn't cause a war, because like there's a lot of stuff that goes into decisions of choosing food. I just don't know what would be better for me to consume. You know, like ground beef that has like the one ingredient of the ground beef in it, or this ground beef substitute that has like a bunch of different ingredients to try to mimic ground beef. Would it be better to just have soy as a plant-based option, or, you know, beans, legumes, like something that is whole and it's not trying to be something else? Because where does like the whole like trying to limit processed foods thing come into that conversation? I don't know, that's just like the questions that I've had and thoughts that I've been kicking around lately. I'll probably look into it later or forget about it entirely. I don't know. 2 weeks is not enough time to like really delve into any kind of results. I've noticed a lot less anxiety lately. The anxiety that I have had has been completely manageable or barely noticeable as far as like internal panic, intrusive thoughts, along those lines. My mood seems more stabilized. The scale has not really budged that much, like maybe like a pound or two, but I feel skinnier. Like I feel like less bloated maybe. I feel like my face kind of looks less puffy too. But I have noticed an increase in acne, cystic acne, like just those deep underground ones. I have one here. I have one on this side of my cheek. The way the light's hitting is kind of highlighting. And then I have them like underneath my chin, which could be a byproduct of not washing off my SPF like I should. Or maybe there's like a purging thing happening. Dunno. But anyway, I will definitely keep doing the dairy-free stuff, and I may even get a little crazy and try gluten-free as well, because it's recommended for people with PCOS, which I am, to kind of stay away from the gluten and dairy. So I'm interested. The fact that like I feel confident about like going dairy-free makes me think that like gluten-free is also on the table. Might be a little bit more hard because of the things that I love. It goes bread and like everything else. I don't know, but that's that little update for you. Why don't we give a guinea pig a haircut and do something that I have been putting off for like several weeks now. You've been far too emo for far long. We all have. It's okay. Oh, gazpacho. Okay, you ready? Oh, that's better already. That's me right there. Have y'all ever just had this task that every time you looked at it, you said, not today, and then the next day you go and you look at it and repeat cycle over and over again for weeks, because it's not like necessarily a big task, but it's daunting. This stupid magnetic marble run that I had for like the idea of like keeping track of weight I lost with the marbles or whatever has been just on my to-do list for weeks now. And I was all gung-ho for it when it was in my Amazon cart, but as soon as it arrived and I opened the package, I was overwhelmed by all the little bits and bobs that it took to assemble it. It's probably not even like a difficult thing to assemble. It's just like a lot of little pieces. And I get overwhelmed with a lot of little pieces. Let's just do it together. It might be fun. And maybe, Steven likes this kind of thing, maybe if I start doing it, he might be like, oh, I want to do it. Oh, speaking of Stevie. Oh, hi, Stevie.
Hello.
You want to help me set up a marble run?
Not really.
You like things like this. Little things that are pointless. No?
Nah, I'm gonna go back and work.
Charles has been screaming. I don't know
I just
why.
came up to bother you, but I guess Chetty's here doing my job.
He is doing your job. What is this?
A motor, maybe? Sends it back to the top? Is it a loop?
No. Could it be?
It is. That's what the thread in the middle is. These things. The marble sits on them and spins back up to the top.
Oh, I don't need it to do all that. I just want it to be like a cool little like Rube Goldberg machine for a marble that I'm gonna put in a jar.
Come here.
Charles! Are you happy now? Yeah. Why does this keep happening? Okay, so respectfully, the marble run idea. That was probably the most frustrating 45 minutes I have spent in a long time. Not because it was hard to assemble, very easy, but physics. The marble was just like not doing what I wanted it to, and like on each run you had to kind of like retweak and reset everything because the weight of the marble shifted everything like just ever so. It's not like a set it and forget it kind of thing. It's more like a tweak on it over and over again and like just hope that it works the one time. Just not what I envisioned. I will say it was trying to be like a fun little way of tracking weight loss, but it probably would help me lose weight because I'd be running my ass all across the house, squatting and ducking, crawling on my hands and knees trying to find the marble just to transfer one from one jar to the other. So we, from this point forward, will just do it old school. I did lose 8 pounds. We can actually transfer some marbles into the empty one. I was waiting until the marble run got built, but seeing as that is not something that I want to spend my blood, sweat, and tears on. Cool. I will say that the 8 pounds has been like over the span of 3 months. It's not been like super recent. Like 2 of the pounds have been recent, but the scale mostly has just been kind of staying the same. Not mad at it, just trying to figure out like what's going on with me. Anyways, on the bright side, I am kind of sort of like getting out of my funk when it comes to my life in general, maybe. I don't know. Overall, as a whole, I think I just need to find like my path again. I haven't felt this way in quite a while, like probably since like trying to pick a major in college which I was not good at doing. I switched majors about at least 6 times. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. You know, like took semesters off trying to find my way, hoping that the answer would just hit me like a lightning bolt from the sky, and I still didn't really end up knowing. Just ended up going the graphic design route. That ended up working out surprisingly, and then kind of stumbled into the whole YouTube thing. But here we are yet again, feeling the same way, trying to declare my major. Just trying to like find a path, a life purpose, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm grateful for the YouTube thing, because that's like totally not it. Like, super grateful. Like, it has just been like blessing after blessing. It's just that like when you're documenting your life and then like your work ends up being your life, that's just like super meta. I just can't even, I don't even know what to say about that. Like, it's just weird to me. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. I think I need to pursue something as well. Like, I tried learning Python, and then I just was just not super interested in that because I couldn't figure out use cases, and it just stopped making sense, especially like the course I was taking. But I don't know, I'm just looking for a new direction. Anyway, I won't trouble you with my existential crisis. I'm just letting you know why I've had an issue trying to film anything. Anyways, I think that that's where we're gonna leave this one. I just want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!